looks like we're streaming. I'm just checking it out on Facebook, and then we're ready to go. Don't really know how to find myself on Facebook. It's super annoying. Aha, there it is. Turn the volume down so we don't get a feedback. And there we go. Okay. Yay! Oh, I'm so excited. You guys, technology has not been my friend this week. It has been such a hassle. Pretty much all technology in my house is now like brand spanking new. I have a new modem, I have a new router, I have a new laptop, I have a new camera, I have a new UV set. Like, it's insane. I even have new lights. So hopefully I'm glowy and gorgeous. Anyway, so yay! Oh, hi, it's so good to see you. Welcome, Debbie. Oh, you guys, this is so much fun. It's working. So it's been a couple of weeks. Fingers crossed. I think we finally have the bug worked out. Knock on all the wood. So let's get started. I'm going to make my crescent rolls for you today. There's actually a guest recipe on my blog from years ago from Happy and Fresh. And once I tried her recipe, they instantly became the one that I make all the time. They're super easy, super delicious, light and fluffy. Now, I'm not normally live on Sundays, so obviously the kids are all home, so I might get a little bit crazy in here, so forgive me, but I just wanted to get this out there for Thanksgiving this week. This is absolutely my favorite holiday. And the reason Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday is because I can spend 3, 4, 5 days prepping in the kitchen and nobody thinks anything of it. Like, the rest of the year, I spend just as much time in the kitchen, but the people are like, oh, Ashley, come on, get out of the kitchen. Aren't you done making that yet? But you know, this 1 week of the year, everybody's okay with it because they know that they're going to have 20,000 desserts and rolls and stuff like that. So, all right. Oh, welcome. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that you like the hair, Michelle. It's the longest I've had it in, like, I don't know, 12 years, but I was kind of ready for a change, but honestly, it drives me absolutely batty. Oh, you guys, it's so much fun to see everybody. Luna, Love from Sunflowers, Michelle, Rosie, Debbie, hi, Wendy, Priscilla. It's so good to see you all and actually be seen and have this all working. So let's get started before something goes wrong and it doesn't work anymore, right? All right, so you can use any mixer for these rolls. You can even mix them by hand. Obviously, Vera here, my Bosch, is a rock star when it comes to breads, so that's what I'm using today, this afternoon, wherever you are, kind of depending. So, oh, I forgot to get the milk out. So look at the lovely empty Vera for a minute. Just when you think you've got everything ready, turns out you don't, all right? So first thing that we want to do is warm up the milk because the cold milk and yeast, which we're going to use, don't work well together. So I just pulled this out of the fridge, so it's super cold. So first thing we're going to do is microwave it for about 40 seconds. And while that's microwaving, we're going to add the yeast and everything to the bowl. So we have 3 tablespoons of yeast and 1 tablespoon of sugar. And I'm sure most of you know that sugar helps activate the yeast, yada, yada, yada. Now this is regular yeast, not like bread machine yeast or fast rising. It's just regular yeast. So it does need to have a little bit of time to kind of get going. So you want to add warm liquid to this. Whatever you're doing, you want to make sure it's warm. About like 110 degrees is kind of what you're going for. So the other thing is you want to give your milk a little bit of a stir. Some people pour it straight in, but microwaves heat from the inside out. So the outside is still actually really chilled while the inside is nice and warm. So we want to make that as even as possible. All right, it needs to be just a little bit warmer. All right, so let's see if we have any questions. Oh, thank you, Nia. That's so nice. Hi, how am I? I'm doing good. You seem like a fun person. I am. I'm a super fun person, and you should subscribe so you can hang out with me all the time. I'm trying to make sure that I was going for like once a week live, but I'm actually really enjoying the lives, not only the interaction with you guys, but I don't have to edit a video afterwards. And so I'm really enjoying them. So I'm looking to go live a couple times a week. So in the comments down below, let me know if you like the afternoons, weekends, weekdays, mornings. I've been doing around noon Mountain Standard Time on Wednesdays, but I'm totally willing to change that up if there's a better time to connect with you guys. All right, give it another stir. Make sure that's nice and even. All right, that feels much better. Now you can of course use a thermometer. I just make these all the time, so I kind of know the right temperature you're going for. Body temperature is 96 degrees, and since we're going for about 110, you want it to feel warm to you, but you don't want it to burn you. Then we let that sit for 5 minutes. I'm gonna start the timer. Now, I'm a big fan of using a timer whether you use your phone or your microwave, because every time that I think to myself, oh, it's only a couple minutes, it's not a big deal, I'll just go run, do that thing, and then come right back. I always end up burning or destroying or ruining whatever it is that I'm trying to make. So, as you can see, forgot to show you, duh. As you can see, we've added the warm milk, and it's already starting to get a little bit foamy, and that's just going to get more and more and more foamier. Christmas sugar cookies. Crystal, that is a great suggestion. I actually believe that I made a sugar cookie video last year, but maybe I didn't. I've been doing food blogging for so long, I kind of forget which of my old recipes I've made videos for and which I haven't, but I'm pretty sure I did a Christmas sugar cookie recipe last year. So go and check my other videos and see if that's there or not. Maybe I didn't. Oh, I'm so glad that you like the new chocolate cake recipe. That's definitely one of my favorites. I make it all the time, and it's really great for cake carving, obviously, which is my specialty, and it's delicious. So often you'll have a really fancy cake from a fancy bakery, and it looks amazing, but it doesn't taste good, or it doesn't look very good, but it tastes amazing. And so my goal is to have both, have an amazing tasting cake that also carves well, so it looks good too. Fingers crossed that you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Lisa, hi! I know my hair's gotten so long. It's crazy, right? Oh, thank you so much, Donna. I'm glad that you like it. I change the color of my hair like every 6 weeks or so. So if you guys have any suggestions, I don't look very good in reds or blonde. Kind of makes my skin look all splotchy. So I tend to stick with like the purplesies and the blues and the turquoises, stuff like that. But totally open. Oh, and I really like doing silver too, but some people think that I'm trying to hide gray hair by doing that. All right, we're getting close. We're halfway there. Let's check out and see what this looks like. So as you can see, they're expanding more, and you can't see the milk through it anymore. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer and bring the focus over. So it's not focusing on, sorry, for all the camera shaking. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better now. Maybe pull this out. I know it's hard because it gets kind of dark. Brighten it a little bit. Oops, wrong way. How's that? Can you see that better? See the texture a little bit as it foams up? All right, almost done. Oh, that is a great suggestion. A video of my favorite baking essentials. I've actually been meaning to do a blog post about all of that, and I just kind of haven't yet. I did film my turkey recipe for Thanksgiving. I think also last year I do a brown bag turkey where I take 2 brown bags and wrap my turkey inside it. So you get that bag method that keeps the turkey really moist, but the brown instead of plastic, the brown paper bag instead of a plastic bag, let the air breathe so you still get a really nice colored turkey too. Some people are worried about the paper bags catching on fire, but it's never been a problem for me. Oh, hello from Brazil. Yeah, I should definitely do the video on my favorite equipment for sure. You like weekends because it's busy during the week. Ugh. I know, but on the weekends I have 5 kids at home, so that gets a little bit hard. I'll try to do a mix. I'll try to do a little bit of weekend and a little bit of week and see if we can try to catch everybody as much as we can. Oh, I'm so glad that you like home-cooked food. Me too. I'm all about that. Rainbow. Lisa, that's a good suggestion. I've actually, one of the reasons that I'm growing my hair out is so that I can do multicolored and not look so silly with the short hair multicolored. Oh, you're moving, yay, into a house and you'll be able to try these. That's awesome. Congratulations, Rebecca. Okay, I think we're done. I'm going to turn my timer off so it doesn't just keep beeping and annoy me. And take a look at this now. Let's see the other angles better. so you can see. Well, let's see if we can move the focal point on that a little bit. It's hard to kind of focus inside the bowl, but we'll try. Anyway, it's nice and foamy. We're going to give it a little bit of a mix. You can kind of see the chunks of the yeast sticking up on top of the milk. And now we're going to add our other ingredients. So now we're going to add a little bit more sugar. This is about 1/4 cup. Let's scoot that back a little bit so you can see better. And we're going to take some eggs. So I can unwrap them. All right, so you want to take some eggs and give it a little bit of a whisk just to kind of break the yolks up. There we go. We're going to pour that in as well. And we're going to pour in some melted butter. Now I melted this butter before I started so that it could cool a little bit so that it wouldn't be too hot. You don't want to add something that's boiling because it will kill that yeast that you have growing, but you also don't necessarily want to add cool liquid, so you don't want to let it cool too much. So I usually melt the butter first, and then I start the whole milk yeast mixture, and then by the time I get to this stage, the melted butter is ready to go. All right, and then the last thing that we want to add is some, not last thing, 2 more things, some salt. And this is about 1½ teaspoons, and I'll have a link to the recipe down below, and if you're watching from YouTube, the recipe is already in the description box. And vanilla. I'm missing my vanilla. I have like 5 containers. Okay, there it is. Found it. And you want about 1 teaspoon of vanilla. All right. So sugar, eggs, salt, butter, vanilla. Last time I made a recipe, I forgot one of the essential ingredients, so I'm going to definitely be double checking so that I don't do that again. I'll have another mistake, I'm sure. So now we're going to mix that. And you don't need to mix it a lot, you just kind of want to make sure everything's incorporated. And now we're going to add some flour. We got the flour, and that was the wrong camera. Let's go to this one. There we go. Now you're going to add some flour. And this is about half the flour we're going to use, or a little bit less than half. This is 2 cups. We're going to add the lid and get that started. And once it's kind of all incorporated together, then we can beat it a little bit faster. What we're going to do now is turn it up just a little bit, kind of let the rest of that flour come in. Then we're going to turn it back down to low and slowly add the rest of the flour until we get the right texture. For those of you who are asking, this is Vera. She is my Bosch Universal Mixer. They're amazing for breads and doughs. They actually cut your rising time down, which I really love because I'm always like, oh, do I have enough time to make bread? And yes, I do. But I also use them for all my cakes, frostings, cookies, everything. Vera gets used every day. She's a workhorse and definitely one of my essential baking tools for those of you who are asking. All right. All right. So back down on low. We're going to add 1/4 cup at a time. I turned it up one to like low medium. And you just want to keep adding 1/4 cup of your flour at a time. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it's so easy to tip that point that you've added too much flour And that's what takes rolls from light and fluffy to hard and dense. You don't want that. All right. So you can see it starting to come together a little bit more. As you add more flour, we're going to add another 2.5 to 3 cups. And as you add more flour, you'll see it's going to kind of start to come together, but it's still pretty sticky. What we're looking for is for it to start cleaning itself. So you want to make sure you give it time between adding the flour, because if you just keep adding flour really regularly, it'll start to clean the walls and you won't even notice it, and you'll end up adding too much flour. So give it time between adding. I'm going to turn it up again. Kind of shake the sides. Take that off now. So as you can see, we're starting to have that pulling effect as the dough is pulling. It's still too wet. It's still not cleaning the sides, but it's starting to get closer. So this is when we want to watch it a little bit better. And yes, Grace, the recipe is actually already on my site, and I'll add a link to the description in a minute. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is already in the description box. I've never tried this with whole wheat flour, Lauren. That's a really great question, because wheat gives me really bad heartburn. So I always use all-purpose flour. If you're gonna try it with whole wheat flour, any recipe that you want to try that you're gonna mix in, hey, just don't make noise, please. Sorry, kids. Any recipe that's like an all-purpose flour that you want to try to mix whole wheat flour into, I'm definitely not the expert at that, but I would try to do a half and half first and see if you need to make any tweaks to the recipe before you went like all whole wheat. Just my tip for tweaking all-purpose flour recipes. And let's turn this back on. And as you can see, it's totally cleaned the sides of the bowls. It's still a little bit tacky, because the center post is still a little bit sticky. So I'm gonna add like another 1/8 cup, not a full 1/4 cup, just an 1/8 cup, maybe even just like a tablespoon at this point, to see how it goes. Let's try that. And then we're gonna let it knead for like 2 minutes. Oh, perfect. See how now like the center is getting clean? Right down here it was still sticking really bad. Let's see if you can see it from the other angle. So right here was, man, it's so hard to see inside the bowl. It was sticking really bad right up here, and now that extra 1/8 cup of flour made it so that's pulling away too. Here. So you can see it cleaning itself up now. It's perfect. We're gonna let that knead for like 40 more seconds. That dough looks amazing. We are ready to pull it out and put it on the counter. All right. And while that was doing the last little bit of kneading, I melted a little bit more butter that we're going to put onto the dough now. So let's get Vera out of the way. All right, anybody have any questions about the dough and what you're looking for when you get to this point? Let me know. KitchenAids totally work. Yep. Any stand mixer is obviously going to give you much faster results. You can actually mix this. You can start this out with a little hand mixer if you want. That first half of the flour should be easy to add, those first 2 cups. But once you get to the point that you're starting to add more flour and your hand mixer obviously isn't cutting it, you can just put it on the counter and hand knead it as you add your dough. It's a little bit harder to tell when you get to that right point because having it clean itself from the bowl is a pretty obvious thing to see. But this should still be, it should still be sticky, right? Like it's still making my hands a mess, but not a huge mess. And I can kind of clean it off my hands by using a ball of dough. So hopefully that will help you get to the right texture, if that makes sense. Hopefully I answered your question, George. Okay. Pull it out of the bowl. And it should kind of pull pretty easily as you go to clean it. See how it kind of pulls itself away as I go and grab it? It's another great sign that we're done. There we go. And that whole self-cleaning thing, oop, I forgot to put flour down. So the flour that we're putting down in the counter, you can see it's not a lot. Because we're not trying to knead in flour to our dough. We're already happy with the way it is now. We're really just using it so that it doesn't stick to the counter. So we're gonna, this makes 24 rolls, and we're gonna cut the dough in half and make 12 at a time, 12 crescents at a time. That looks like half. So I'm gonna put this one, get it nice and floury on the bottom, and put it off to the side. Bring this one over, kind of get it in a round shape, and start rolling. Now we're not trying to go the full size at the very beginning like this, so we're gonna flip it. So add a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick, and keep going. We're looking to go make as much of a circle as you can get. Nice circle is gonna give you better and more even crescent rolls. And you want it, we're trying to get it about 1/4 of an inch thick. Oh, how's that? One more. Now you can go thinner than 1/4 of an inch. You'll have more wraparounds on your crescents, but you'll still have the same amount of dough in each roll because you're still cutting it into 12 portions. But I kind of like I think 1/4 of an inch is a good way to go. Trying to make this as circular as I can. Okay, how's that look? Now we're going to take some melted butter. And I actually like it when the butter's cooled a little bit more than this. So we're going to try one of my tricks. And that is I'm going to take the melted butter that I melted a little bit too much. And I have 2 portions of this for each time that I'm doing this, each set of rolls. But I'm going to take this softened butter and add it to the melted butter and mix them together. So this one's already softened. Add it into the melted butter, and we're going to mix it together. So when you melt your butter, I try to only melt it about halfway and then stir it together for this, for what I consider the better results for these rolls. So this is kind of cooling down that butter we already did. My bowl's too tiny, need a bigger bowl. And kind of thicken it up and cool it down at the same time. There we go. Are there any other questions about the texture? Let's see. Can you use a KitchenAid? Yes, you already answered that. Gina, it sounds like you need to bring homemade rolls. I'm just saying. I agree with Michelle. Somebody needs to bring them. Homemade rolls are the best. All right, so that's getting thicker. Where's my 1/4 cup? There it is. So there's a 1/4 cup of butter, and since I kind of stole from the stuff that was already melted, pour that out like that, and spread it. Now you can use a pastry brush or the back of a spoon or whatever you can to spread the butter. So if it's too warm, it's really runny. And when it's really runny like that, I find that it makes a big mess and it kind of spills off the dough. So when it's melted but cooler like it is now, I find it easier to spread. And also I get a thicker layer of butter in the roll when you can get more butter in like this. Okay, let's bring the other camera to a height we can better use. It's fun being your own tech person, just saying. All right, there we go. This other angle will be a better shot for this. There we go. So, pizza cutter, first thing you want to do is cut right down the middle of your middle of your circle. Oh my word, it's like I can't even speak English. Now that's easy, right? Half and half. Now you want to do 1/3. So I usually kind of like mark the halfway mark and then go over 1/3. I feel like that's easier to work in this amount of space than the whole arc. So this looks like it's about 1/3. Cut all the way through to the other side and then cut in half. Not a bad way to go. And it's okay if they're not perfectly even. Most of you probably aren't as OCD as I am about things being even. So just do your best. And final one. And then you're gonna, starting at the fat end, just roll it up. And the same thing all around. And we're gonna fill a pan. Like that. And maybe don't wear sweaters, because I just found a sweater fluff fleck in my rolls. I try not to wear sweaters when I'm working with food because sweaters tend to spread everywhere. We're going to let the rolls rise now, Grace. That's a great question. We're going to shape them first. So this is a 1 rise recipe, not a double rise. So you don't need to let it rise that first time, just the second time. So shape them, let them rise, and cook, which I appreciate because I don't love recipes that are double rise. I don't know. Call me crazy. Who's got time for that? I have plenty recipes that I love that I totally do that for and it's worth it, but my favorite recipes only have 1 rise. My breadsticks are the other one that I like to make all the time. And you kind of want to work fairly quickly because we still have that other half of the dough. Okay, so I use a regular pan with a Silpat mat in it. You can of course use parchment paper if you want, and we're just going to fill up. The other thing that I do is if you only put the little point of your dough underneath like that, if this is the bottom, they can sometimes get unwrapped as they rise. So I make sure to do most of the point set down. So this would be the bottom, not that. Hopefully that makes sense. You want to make sure that you get more of your point down below. So, ooh, it looks like we have a hater who doesn't like me. Sorry, you don't have to watch. Gotta love trolls on the internet, right? Okay.
Who doesn't like you?
Oh, hey, sweetheart.
Hi.
You don't have to be here for that. Okay. So because this is only half, we're only going to fill up half the pan and then do the other ones real fast. And then let them rise. Okay. And again, make sure they're all pointing the same direction. One, it looks a little better, and then it will also rise a little bit better. So we take up half the pan, and then we bring back the dough and do the other half. So see if I can get another good looking circle. Like this. All right, so are there any questions about shaping the dough? You can actually obviously cut these, if you don't want to do circles and crescents, you can roll this like into a square and cut these into rectangles and just fold up your rolls and do them that way. Yes, oh Lisa, that is a great question. You can totally make these ahead of time. Once it gets to this point right here and I get this whole pan filled, oops, wrong camera. Once I fill the whole pan, you can actually freeze it at that point and then heat them up another day. If I'm going to do that, what I'll usually do, obviously there's 6 people in my family, so 24 rolls is really good for us because we like carbs a lot. But if you have a smaller family or you don't need that many, you can always put these on 2 smaller pans. Once they're frozen, you can actually take them off of the pan and put them in a bag too. And then you can just keep them in a bag in your freezer. And I keep them there for a couple of weeks. I wouldn't do it too long just because freezer burn and bread doesn't work well together. But yeah, you can totally save them for another time. I like to let them rise, obviously double in size, classic answer. For me, in my house, in the winter and the temperature, it takes about 2 hours to double in size. If you are making them ahead but not super far ahead that you want to freeze them, you can refrigerate them while they rise, and then that'll cut the time, or that'll like double the time it'll take to rise. You can make them the night before, let them rise overnight. I haven't fully tested the overnight rise thing, so you might still need to let them rise after you take them out of the fridge a bit, just because I don't have the patience for that. But yes, they can totally be made ahead of time, frozen or refrigerated, and go from there. All right, so let's add the butter to this again. Oh, I'm so glad that you think it looks good already. It's hard to go wrong with carbs, right? And of course I didn't send her this one. So, and I have my nice half melted thick butter. Pour that on. Spread it out again. Kind of like you're adding pizza sauce to pizza. And don't worry if it doesn't look like it's going to spread. It really will. 1/4 cup of butter definitely goes a long ways. So just keep going until you're spread all the way. When I'm making cinnamon rolls, I use my hands. So you can always do that too to get the butter to spread if it's a little bit too chilled or room temperature. So let's try this again. See if we can get it even. Cut in half. Cut in half. Cut in thirds. Whoop. Cut in thirds. And final cut in thirds. And it doesn't really matter if they get folded like that. You just unfold them and wrap them up. This is when, if it was like a regular edited video, I'd be like stop motion, fast through all this. Boop, 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 boop. Super fast, snap, right? All right, so who's in charge of the rolls for Thanksgiving? Let me know in the comments if that's your assignment this year. It's one of my many assignments. This is actually the first year I'm not making the turkey because my brother-in-law is going to smoke it for us. So if you've had smoked turkey, let me know. I've honestly never had a smoked turkey, so I'm excited about it. I want to know, though, if you have had a smoked turkey, if there's any drippings, because gravy's kind of my thing, and I'm not quite sure how much drippings I'm going to have to work with for the gravy. So let me know. Double this for a party? Yes, and it doubles really, really well if you have a big mixer. My mixer can oops, wrong way. My mixer can totally handle a double batch easily. But you can always, it's like, I was seeing here, it's really not hard. I made a batch already this morning so that I have a finished one for the next part. And it comes together really fast. So that's not really hard. Oh, I agree, Rebecca. Carbs make the world a better place for sure. And 2 more, almost done. Yes, Michelle, for sure. 2 rises. I don't have the patience for that. I try to do as many 1 rise recipes as possible. Of course, what that usually means is more yeast. All right, so now we need to prepare them to rise. So some people just put towels over them. I've never had good luck with that method of just putting a towel over the rolls and letting them rise. So this is the method that I use for letting things rise. So we have this, our pan. We're gonna take some plastic wrap and pull it over the top. And plastic wrap the other half. And put it over the top. But of course, plastic wrap, the rolls can stick to as well, which is super annoying. So take some non-stick baking spray and roll right where your rolls are. I know what you're thinking, they're not touching the rolls. And then you flip over the plastic. That's the easiest way for me with less mess. And I don't wrap the plastic around because you want these rise as they roll to be able to pull against the plastic. So make sure you leave the plastic mostly loose. And then, dun, 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 dun. After 2 hours of rising, this is what they look like. Beautiful, right? Check it out. It's lovely. Ooh, you're in charge of stuffing? Ooh, yeah, I know. Rolls are so easy, right? You never would have known. You don't like regular oven turkey anymore? Oh, that's good to know. I'm glad that my smoked turkey will be good. So at this point, you can either put them straight in the oven or you can melt some more butter and brush some more butter on it. I'm just going to put them in the oven and brush butter on them at the end. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to brush butter now. I was just thinking, I don't have butter melted, so I'm going to have to melt some, and that's going to take like 40 seconds. And when you're live, there's like this panicky feeling of, this is taking too long. Because in an edited video, of course, all of this stuff would be skipped. But you guys deserve not skipped on rolls, and I'm actually the one who's going to eat these later, and I deserve not skipped on rolls. So this is a great time to catch up with questions. These look perfect. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you think they look good. Ooh, they would do great with chocolate in the center, but I do also have a pain on chocolate recipe for chocolate-filled croissants, and I have a video for that as well, for the layered croissants. But yes, of course, what does chocolate not taste amazing in, right? You can even wrap these with, I've done cheese inside of these as well, and that's really good too. You love crescent rolls, I agree. Carbs make the world better. Yes, carbs do. You have to make the stuffing. My sister is in charge of the stuffing this year, and you're gonna make the rolls. Perfect. I'm so glad that you're gonna give them a try. Let me know what you think. Let's see, can you use parchment? You can totally use parchment. Yes, Grace, they will rise a little bit more while they're baking as well. Oh, I'm glad that you don't mind seeing the real time. All right, here we go. Whoop. My butter kind of exploded a little bit. I'm gonna have to clean my microwave now. That's gonna be fun. Always fun. All right, so let's get a little bit closer so you can see this. So because these have risen, they're a little bit sensitive. We don't want to press these down and lose all of those great bubbles that we've gotten. A little green on there. There we go. So this is a gentle thing that we're doing. So just kind of gently add the butter. Ooh. So you said carbs make the world a better place, and hello, so does butter, right? Ah, look at this. I won't even tell you. You can add it up for yourself how many cubes of butter we've used in this recipe with all the melting butter in here. I think this is my third cube of butter. Butter is awesome. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that you think they look beautiful. Yes, 1.5 to 2 hours of rising. It's really just about letting them double in size. If your kitchen is warmer, like in the summer, they don't usually take that long to rise, but you know, it's winter around here, and so they are taking a little bit longer to rise. Oh, look at the mess I've made. It is all over my counter. There's like butter everywhere. All right, so here we go. Finished rolls, ready to go in the oven. Oh, hot, 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 hot. This is a 400-degree oven. Okay. Whew. That's really warm. Be careful, warm ovens, when you first open them, that first blast, I usually open them and step back because I was learning that the hot oven, when I open it, would actually melt my eyelashes. So now I step back for that first initial blast and then come back. All right, so now is a great time. They're baking for 10 minutes and then we're gonna test them. Usually the tops, my oven is on its last leg. If anybody has an oven recommendation, I'm looking to buy a new oven. I'd love to hear if you have a favorite, because this was here when I bought the house, and it was super old then, and it's super old now, and it's dying. So it doesn't heat very evenly. So what I'm gonna do is after 10 minutes, I'm gonna pull the rolls back out. They're gonna be perfectly golden on top, but they're gonna be a little bit raw underneath. Hopefully your oven doesn't have that handicap. And I'm just gonna cover them with some foil and put them in for another like 5 minutes, and they'll be perfect. Now I was gonna make 3 batches and have a batch already baked and have the batch risen so you can see it, and I just ran out of time because Sundays are busy with church and all. So you can either leave now or you can stay and talk with me for about 10 minutes while we wait for those to bake. So I'm here to answer any and all questions. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and I have a ton of recipes for everything under the sun, and I'm happy to answer questions. I'm just going to wipe down my nasty counter because it's nasty. All right, so I'd love to hear from you guys what your favorite way to cook a turkey is and what your favorite sides are. I usually host, but I try to change it up and make different sides every year. This year my kids are with their dad, and so I don't want to be alone, so I'm hanging out with my sisters. So I'm not hosting this year, which I'm super excited about, and I'm not making the turkey, which I'm kind of sad about because I love making the turkey. But I'm in charge of rolls, gravy, homemade eggnog. What else am I bringing? Oh, my pecan tart, some kind of chocolate dessert of some kind. I haven't decided which one I'm going to make yet. And then I'll probably make a third dessert because I'm crazy like that. Oh, and then I'm making Christmas dinner jello. So that's what I'm bringing, me solo by myself. My sisters are in charge of the turkey. Oh, my individual sweet potatoes. I'm also bringing sweet potatoes. So neither of my sisters love cooking as much as I do, so they're not doing as much. It's kind of weird that I'm solo and I'm bringing food for 12 other people and I'm making like 90% of it. So, okay, so what are you guys making? Where did you say you can find the recipe? The recipe is on my site, and it has been for years. And I will link to that. I meant to put it in the description. It's for Facebook. It's not in the Facebook description, but as soon as I'm done with the video, I will update that description and add it. If you're on YouTube, it's already in the description box. Click the show more button and the whole recipe will be right there. Double oven. Oh, I would love to have a double oven. Barbara, that is an awesome suggestion. My plan is actually to rip out all of this and put in a double oven over there at some point and make a nicer island and get rid of these and add another window. But not on the cards for now. Got to work with the space that I got. So it's going to be a single oven for now. Yes, convection is key. And right now I'm electric, and I'm looking for gas on top and electric on the bottom. I love gas. Trying to catch up on questions. Usually do the rolls. You've never made homemade. It looks super easy. Tracy, totally easy. Give it a try. It's really not very hard. You want to get a stand mixer because it's too hard by hand. It does get hard. I mean, it does hurt your wrists after a while to knead by hand. But most of that is because most people add too much flour, I find, and so the kneading gets really tough. If you're careful with the amount of flour that you add, it shouldn't be too hard. Beatrix, thank you. You do have drippings with the smoked turkey. That is really, really good to know. Ooh, Lisa, what kind of pies are you making? 2 pies. I want to hear what kinds you're doing. You made it look so easy. It really is, Barbara. It's much easier than you think. All right, some questions over here. Convections oven are great. I agree, Debbie. Fried turkey, and your favorite side is mac and cheese. Do you do homemade mac and cheese? If so, let me know if you have a favorite recipe. I make homemade mac and cheese at least once a week. And while the recipe is always the same as the one I have on my website, I like the base recipe, I always change up the kind of cheeses that I use. So if you have a favorite cheese that you like to put in your homemade mac and cheese, let me know, because I'm always looking to try new cheese mixtures to put in there. Hey Teresa, glad that you joined us. Oh, butter makes everything better. Michelle, yes. Yes, it does. It really, really does. All right. Double oven is a whole unit. Oh, you mean like those double ovens that are regular oven sized and have the split doors. I've totally been wondering if they're really as awesome as they seem versus like the 2 double full-sized ovens. I'll have to check that out. Barbara, you said you like Frigidaire? Thanks. I appreciate the suggestion. Keep suggesting good ovens for me. There's an oven out there now, I forget which brand it is, that has a camera in it, so you can, like, on your phone, you can keep track of what it's in there, and I'm wondering if there's a way to make it so I can record it, so in my videos I can add, like we could right now switch over to a shot of the rolls in the oven, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? Forget what brand makes it though. When you make sweet potatoes, you bake 2 bananas till black and mash them in. That's really interesting. That would add a different level of sweetness. That's a good suggestion, Marlene. Eggnog recipe. Also on my blog, and it's also on my YouTube channel. I've made a video for that as well. And I think there's even a short Facebook version that I put up last year. Yes, sweetheart.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did you show them the dinner jello?
No.
Okay.
That's not this video. That's my 10-year-old. You love yams. I've actually never really gotten into yams, but I think it's because I just need a better recipe. You're making desserts for your Thanksgiving, Tressa. What desserts are you making? I would love to hear that. Will you be videoing some of your desserts? I actually did a recipe video last year with my 4 favorite pies. A pumpkin cream cheese pie. It was a lemon sour cream pie. My coconut cream pie. I make so many pies, it's hard to remember which 4 I made for that video. And I forget I think the 4th one was my pecan tart, but I don't know for sure. And then a couple weeks ago, I shared making a pumpkin pie from a pumpkin, like from scratch. And that's definitely a favorite as well. So I made those videos all last year. I was thinking about doing a live of my pecan tart on like Monday or Tuesday. Usually I only do 1 live a week, but because this is Thanksgiving, I figured I would probably do a live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So let me know in the comments what time of day is good for you. I'll probably do the Monday one during the day when my kids are at school. Tuesday I could do in the evening. Wednesday I'll do in the morning because then I'm taking off and I'm going down to my sister's house. So I'll do like a morning, evening, morning. So I think I'm going to do my pecan tart. And if you guys have, and then on Wednesday I was thinking about doing a turkey leftover recipe, like what you do with leftover turkeys. So I was either going to make my turkey pot pie or my turkey and wild rice soup. So let me know if you have a preference for Wednesday for a leftover video, or maybe I'll do that Friday and stick with a Thanksgiving recipe for Wednesday. There's just so many good Thanksgiving recipes. It's hard not to like just video every day for you guys. Ooh, an amaretto cheesecake. Amaretto is one of my very favorite flavors, Marlene. That sounds amazing. Let me know if you like have a recipe that you love, because cheesecakes are one of my favorite things to make for sure. Turkey leftovers, yes. Pecan tart. Oh, it's seriously my most requested dessert at Thanksgiving. It's this pecan tart, because pecan pies as a whole, they have so much of that gooiness in them, and while the taste is amazing, it's the texture gets me. So the tart's like perfect because it's thinner. I love it. Favorite meal of the year, for sure, Kara, for sure. That's why I make things. So my kids are with their dad this year, and we're doing Thanksgiving dinner today. In fact, I'm about to put Tom the turkey in. We're spatchcocking it this year, so it only takes 90 minutes to cook. So fingers crossed it works. I haven't tried that before, so we'll give it a try. Pumpkin pie, yes. You like the lemon poppy seed bundt cake, Grace? Is that the one that you're talking about? Because, yeah, lemon poppy seed's hard to go wrong with. You made a pumpkin pie and an apple and a cheesecake pie. Ooh, pumpkin, apple, and cheesecake pie all together? That does sound good. Tart, apple, cherry, pumpkin, pecan pies. That's a lot of different pies. That, whoever you are making it for, Carol, is lucky. Pumpkin cinnamon rolls. Can't go wrong with cinnamon rolls. I usually just make my pumpkin cinnamon rolls with a maple cream cheese frosting, but this year I think I'm going to try adding a little bit of caramel and toasted pecans too. Yams with brown sugar marshmallows, awesome. A Singapore, you got a double. Coconut cake, yes, I love coconut cake. I have not filmed that though, and it's not on my blog yet. So I have never shared my cake recipes before, so I'm just this year starting to share those. So I shared my chocolate cake, and I will put on the list that you want to see my coconut cake. That's a good suggestion. I'm so glad you like my videos. You always use sharp cheddar and Parmesan for your mac and cheese, but this year you're going to try Gruyere and extra sharp. I love using Gruyere in my mac and cheese. That's definitely one of my favorite ways to go. And when I use cheddar, I like to use a smoked cheddar. I like that extra smoky flavors. That's a great idea. Oh, sorry, I missed something. Doing some desserts, great idea. Okay, sorry. Coconut chocolate cake. Interesting. I have not made a coconut chocolate cake before. All right, so that is beeping. I'm going to switch the camera over so I can show you guys. Okay, so look how beautiful and golden those are. But if you press down, they're still a little squishy. See how it's not bouncing back up? I pull that away and press in. It's not quite cooked all the way, but I don't want them to get super, super, super brown. And my oven, it will get super brown. So I'm going to quickly, and that's the end of my foil, so not that one. I knew something was going to go wrong. Luckily, I always have extra foil. So I'm going to take some foil really quickly. And we want to get these back in the oven right away. So I'm going to put the two shiny sides together and fold them together a little bit. And then open it up. Shiny side down. Kind of, ooh, hot, that was hot. Kind of tent it and put it back in the oven. Okay, put it back in the oven for just a little bit longer. They smell amazing. I say this all the time in my YouTube videos, but I really wish there was such a thing as smell-o-vision so we could share. Oh, coconut layer and a chocolate layer for cake. That is a good suggestion, Christian. You want to see more of my cakes? All right, Carissa, I am working on getting more of my cake recipes out there for you guys. Frigidaire convection. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I catch up. The Bosch is a Bosch universal mixer. This is the newer style that came out probably like 10 years ago. My mom and my mother-in-law and my grandma all have the original style, which is pretty similar, but it's just not quite as modern looking. This is a little bit more boxy right here. It kind of comes out in boxes. And theirs are still going strong, and they're 40 plus years old, and they're amazing. So I'm a huge fan of the Bosch Universal Mixer. It has the blender attachment over here and the mixer, and then of course, like the KitchenAid, there's a ton of extra attachments for the Bosch that I really love. I love the extra side scrapers that you can add to your whisk so it keeps the sides clean while you're whisking, because I hate, like, you know, spatulaing it all up and stuff. There's also pasta attachments. They just barely came out with an ice cream attachment, but I haven't tested it yet. And then I have the little mini food processor that goes on the blender side, the graters that grates all the cheese. I literally grate everything with my Bosch. I don't even have like a regular grater anymore because I use it all the time. Grace, yes, let me know how the rolls turn out for you and what you think. Barbara, I'm glad that you think that they look good. You have a KitchenAid, but a Bosch. Yes, the KitchenAid with the head over the top and like then no lid. I've never been able to get into. When I was on Food Network on the Halloween Baking Championship a couple years ago, we had to use KitchenAids because that's what they have. And I will say, I could tell the difference in the wattage of the motors. I love the 800 watt of the Bosch. It's so strong and it just whips through things. It takes almost no time at all to mix things. It saves me a ton of time. And with a large family, saving time is huge for me. So I did not enjoy using it. I'm sure that there's people out there who would disagree with me, but I prefer the Bosch. I love being able to just add things. It has the double lid so you can have it completely enclosed or halfway open. And you're a fan of what you grew up with, right? I grew up with the Bosch, so it's all I know. And I love, 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 love it. Pumpkin cheesecake. I do have a recipe for pumpkin cheesecake. Cheesecakes are like my jam. But I just realized the other day it's not on my blog. So that's a great suggestion, Kara. Maybe I'll make that for this year and add it to the blog. A little black pepper in a pumpkin pie gives it a little different taste. You know what, Marlene? I've never added a little bit of black pepper to my pumpkin pie, and now you have me totally intrigued, and I want to give it a try. Sounds really interesting. Ooh, a 3-layer cheesecake pie. Yeah, Tracy, that sounds amazing. That sounds super good. Michelle, where can you get one of those Bosch mixers? You've never seen one. They've actually been around since the 50s. But because they don't like come in all sorts of splashy and fun colors, they haven't really gained popularity, but they are workhorses. They're amazing. As soon as I stop the broadcast, I will send you a link. You can either go to boschmixers.com. They usually have sales around Mother's Day and around Christmas. So since this week is Black Friday and then Cyber Monday, this weekend would definitely be a good time to look. I will say they are pricier than like the lower model KitchenAids, but they're actually cheaper than the stronger KitchenAids. So honestly, I feel like they're totally worth it. But because they last forever and they never die, I actually got my first Bosch at classified ads locally. Somebody was selling their moms when their mom died, so I got it. And then Bosch actually sent me this one because I was posting about it on my blog so much. Like, we want to send you the new model because it's prettier. So I got this one from Bosch, and then I turned around and I sold my second, third hand Bosch, and it's still going strong. I sold to my cousin and she still works great for her. So I love them. I cannot recommend them enough. So yeah, boschmixers.com. They also sell them now in Costco's. Not all Costco's, but a lot of Costco's I've seen them at. And then Amazon as well. And I get a lot of the attachments on Amazon. And honestly, you couldn't, I don't know that you could even break it if you tried. Some of my, I'll break my attachments sometimes, like my whisks or my cookie paddles. I've totally broken and go through a ton of those because I just overwork it. But the motor itself is amazing, and you'll never, it won't break. Sorry, this is like my thing. I love talking about my Bosch. I'm sorry if I go on a little bit too much about it. So, how many tools do you use when making something? Pretty much my Bosch. That's a really good question. Kind of depends on what it is, obviously. You know, yeah, I mean, I use Vera, my Bosch, at least every day, but it really depends on what you're looking for. I have a whole IKEA tall closet chest full of toys. I have 4 food processors, a rice cooker, bread maker, 2 crock pots, a sous vide machine, which is definitely one of my favorites. I have so many kitchen toys. It's not even funny. So kind of depends on what it is. The right tool for the right job, I think is a really good idea. So I collect fun toys. That's a really good question. What time is it there? It is 5:44 here, Mountain Standard Time. So I might save Tom the turkey for tomorrow. Even spatchcocking and only taking 90 minutes to cook. Oh, I wanted to get this video in though, so I don't know. We'll see. We tend to eat dinner late around here because I'm usually filming something and lose track of time, then all of a sudden it's time for dinner. The only toy that I don't have is an Instapot. I love the process of cooking, so I've been a little bit nervous to try them, but because, you know, it's 6 o'clock at night and I haven't started dinner yet, I should probably give it a try. So let me know if you guys have a favorite kitchen tool I should give a try. How many tools are we going to make something? Mash mixer, what time is it there? Okay, answered all those. Ooh, pumpkin cookies, Tracy, that sounds amazing. Yeah, they don't really have coupons, Grace, for the Bosch, but they do have like twice a year sales around this time of year before Christmas and then around Mother's Day. Those are the 2 times. But like I said, check out your local classifieds and see if you can find one that way. They don't ever die. This thing will outlive me. One of my kids will get it. Or one of my grandkids, because my kids will buy their own. But yeah, all right, we're a minute away, so I'm going to pull it out and see how they look, because either way, I'll melt my butter first, because we haven't added enough butter yet. So I'm going to add another half cube of butter, melt it, and brush it on the top once they come out. So this is the end of our 3rd cube of butter for this batch. Oh, it smells so good. Okay. Oh, turning my hand out of the hot pad holder. Ooh, they look amazing. I'm going to take that same roll that I squished before and test it. Oh, I always ruin one, and that's mine. Looks done. Okay, now I got the melted butter. We're gonna add that. Ooh, look how good they look, everybody. Oh, seriously, timer, turn off. There we go. Okay. Oh, it smells so good. I cannot wait to break into it. Oh, you can hear the butter sizzle as it hits that hot pan. Yes, yes, yes. My mouth is watering. Have you ever used a crock pot? Yes, I don't love crock pots, so I don't use them very much. If I don't do the turkey night, what will we eat? Honestly, I'll probably just throw the turkey in. 90 minutes isn't bad. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, thank you, Deborah. I'm glad that you like it. Oh, I'm actually not, I'm actually in Central Standard Time right now. Okay, whew. Look at this. All right, I'm going to pull out the one that I already kind of mutilated. There we go. Oh, and look, I broke off that bottom crust. Hot, hot, hot. Whoo. Okay, whoo, that's really hot. Okay. That's really hot, but I know it's all the way cooked. Tastes amazing. All right, let's give you guys a close-up of the roll. It's really hot. All right, so here is our, woo, man, it's hot to touch too. Here's our finished roll. And let's rip that apart so you can see the inside. You see the steam rising?
Yes.
Oh, you can see the steam rising, huh, Princess?
Yes, you can.
Oh, it turned out awesome. All right. So, this has been a long one. Sorry about that.
Are you gonna end it now?
Yes, I'm going to end it now.
But I'm writing cooking tips
Okay.
right now.
All right. It's perfect. You made a peach cobbler. Instant Pot. It's like a opposite of a slow cooker. It's a fast cooker. What are the other questions? Okay, I think that's it for all the questions. I'm all caught up on that side of things. Don't forget to leave me a comment letting me know if you prefer evenings or weekends, nights or days for these live recipes. Usually I only go live once a week, but I'm going to go live every day leading up to Thanksgiving, sharing some other things. So make sure that if you're on YouTube, you click the little bell to get the notification. And on Facebook, just like my page, and hopefully you'll get a notification for that. I'll pre-schedule them out so you can like the upcoming video, so you'll be reminded about it. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this and saw how easy it is to make these rolls. Seriously. I think I could just have dinner of just these and be perfectly happy. So, hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching and keeping me company and talking with me. It's been really fun. I will see you tomorrow. All right.
Wait.
Oh, hold on. Princess has something she wants to show you guys.
Now look at the...
Oh,
Sorry.
I think you need to work on your paper airplane skills. All right, let's read what she wrote us. Cooking tips. Let's see. Oh, that camera is down. All right, cooking tips. Have a 10-year-old daughter. Very good tip for anybody who wants to be a good cook. Have short and colored hair. I agree. That definitely helps with cooking. Always lick the spatula. I think that's a great
Always
tip.
lick the spatula before
sorry.
putting it in the sink.
Longer sentence. Always lick the spatula before putting it in the sink. I think those are great cooking tips. You want to come say bye with me? Maybe get rid of the chocolate in the corner of your mouth. All right, this is Princess. All right, say thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
All right, say bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. All right. Oh, there was a couple more questions. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys too. Evenings. Thanks. Good to know. And yeah.